Hey folks, another one for tonight. 3 videos in a row. Here's one about this happened. This is 6 days ago or a week ago. It's about TYT and Jink again. This is from Zoom. They said it's from a Zoom. Is it members only or Zoom? What do you call it? It was on Zoom or something. That's what they said. Zoom podcast, or was it on? Or was this on the membership hour, bonus hour, whatever, right? Only members. This was leaked. I guess one of the members leaked it out to the Vanguard, and this is a shorter version from this progressive way. So this the Vanguard one is longer, but he goes into it too. This guy, progressive way. But Jink is saying all sorts of stuff, and this exposes them. TYT as a grift. Definitely, they expose themselves as being grifters. Definitely. I'll let you hear it, folks, and I'll see what you think.
Again, we can debate that, but it's definitely there. So, but they're not in charge. And Trump, at the end of the day, what is he? Is he those things? Maybe he's.
Today we have a bombshell. The Vanguard has leaked audio of Cenk Uygur. Cenk Uygur appears to have some top secret plans that he's spreading about, and the Vanguard has some notes on it. Let's get into it.
Who was able to, take part in this town hall or this Zoom call with Cenk and spilled a little bit of the audio from that encounter.
It was a Zoom call
with Cenk, where he actually previews a pretty interesting but pretty pathetic, pretty hilarious plan for the future, in addition to addressing his recent change in posture towards the right wing. Some pretty interesting and quite revealing comments here that I think you guys are going to be very interested. And like I said, it culminates in an announcement here that is, I think, going to be a huge flop if it ever actually comes to fruition, which it seems like it will.
Yeah, I'm excited to listen. I haven't heard this audio yet. I've got the TLDR from my man over here, but I'll reserve any commentary until I've heard it with my own ears, and then we'll unpack it for everyone.
All right, let's take a look. And this is about 5 minutes of audio from the Zoom call. I did verify the Zoom call behind the scenes, so I know this is 100% legitimate audio. The reason why we decided to play it for you guys as audio and not the actual original Zoom call is because we didn't want to put all these random TYT members' face on the screen. There's a lot of just normal people that were on the Zoom call, and I don't know if they want to be broadcast to our YouTube audience of 2,000 live viewers, whatever. So we're not trying to expose any of these normies, any of these random folks that are just part of the TYT army, right? So just in case anyone didn't want to have their likeness compromised, we did decide to release this as audio only. But with all that said, let's take a look.
Yep, let's get into it.
And for reference, Cenk Uygur is making a lot of alliances right now with the conservatives.
The Democratic leadership, in a lot of ways, adopts some of the far left positions and gets into the culture war. So now we're having these giant culture wars. Oh, perfect. Everyone's super divided. And God, we hate the right wing. And if you're saying, hey, Cenk, if you're on the right or the left, hey, didn't you hate the right wing? Oh, yeah, goddamn right I did. Didn't you say that some of the, biggest things, the harshest things against the right wing? Goddamn right I did. Okay? And so that's when we needed warriors. And I went to war, and I didn't mind fighting those guys at all. And so, and their far right has done terrible things and continues to do terrible things. Okay, so what has changed now? Is it that the right wing is perfectly great and we should go to the right? No. The far right is still the far right. They're still super dangerous. And there are different wings, guys. There's the ethno-nationalists. Jesus Christ, God help us. Okay? There's still the fundamentalist Christian right. There's the guys who are hate immigrants, hate trans people, hate this, hate that, right? So
at Pet Value, we treat your pet like our pet. Looking fresh? Smell
I'm still trying to figure out which ones of these guys aren't the Nazis. Yeah, oh, don't call them Nazis. It's bad to call them Nazis. You can't call them fascists or Nazis. And then he goes ahead and he lists a group of individuals that I think would tell you themselves.
Which one are the fascists? I guess the ethno-nationalists, you could call them Nazis or fascists.
Oh yeah, I actually think the Nazis were pretty misunderstood. You know, so still waiting for the groups the folks we're supposed to collaborate with.
And he said that now is the time to be peacemakers. I mean, I think now's the time to fight. Back then, Trump was actually like there were safeguards. He was checked. Now there's no safeguards. I mean, just the courts. But you have people in the government who will check him. Say he can't do this, whatever. And there's a law. It's unlawful, and they'll check him. Yet people go against him. Now you have this totally loyalty to him. So it's not like this. They'll do whatever he says. So back then, that was a time back then. But people who were doing that, the other leftist shows, they're doing you're talking to the other side, right? I mean, and he criticized them, other shows, for doing that, calling them right wing. Calling people right wing. Glenn Greenwald, he calls right wing. He's more of a libertarian, but he's called Glenn Greenwald right wing. I mean, and Jimmy Dore, but Jimmy Dore is a grifter. But certain people, but he called Briar Jo Gray a right winger. Well, not a left. She's not left. Well, she's not a leftist because she doesn't criticize the right wing. She doesn't do Democrats. She does criticize Democrats. I respect Gray though. I respect Bree. She criticized the Democrats, not as much. I mean, not as much the Republicans. She criticized the Republicans too, but not as much. And Crystal, respect Crystal. She tried to do that back then. In the I'm talking about back in the 2016 era. When Trump won. She still has an audience. She does Republicans. But she goes to talk to Republicans. She and Sangha, they disagree. I mean, but she didn't shame anybody. Back in the day, he shamed people actually talking to the other side. Now he's doing that same shit. He's doing the same shit they're doing. You actually shame people for doing that, actually. But at least now these other people are still doing that. They're talking to the other side, but they're debating them. They're not going back against. The difference is they're not going back against their principles. Although some are. Jimmy Dore is. Jimmy Dore is totally MAGA. But Brianna Joy Gray, she's not going back. She's to the leftist. She's not going back on her principles. Certain leftist principles. She might agree with she disagree with the Democrats. But she's not against the left. This guy is against the left, definitely. He's against the Democrats, and he's also against the left. He knows that. They're not against the left. Even though, like Brie and others. But RBN is against the left. He's kind of. But he's not against leftist principle. He's saying that they're not left enough. They're not far left enough. They go against, they're not principled enough. Even he's saying that. And it's not about purity tests. But I'm going on a rant here. But Nick of Revolutionary Blackout Network, he's saying they're not principled. The leftists, American leftists. That's what he's saying. That's why he's against them. But Cenk Uygur is totally. He criticizes the left and the Democrats. And he does have and he's sympathizing with the right. At least the leftists, the far left and the left, they're at least they're going on their principle, and they criticize the Democrats, but they're still keeping their principle. But this guy's not a leftist. I mean, he just criticizes the Democrats and the left. That's all. And he hates, and he likes he's more of a liberal or conservative.
What percentage of the Republican Party is that? We can debate that. But is that a real percentage? Of course it is. Okay, and that's never gone away, and that's there. I think it's a smaller percentage these days. Again, we can debate that, but it's definitely there. So, but they're not in charge. In Trump, at the end of the day, what is he? Is he those things? Maybe he's one of those things, and maybe they have an ideology, and Elon does, and Bannon does. And certainly Bannon does. Bannon has an ideology, half of which, a third of which is, interestingly, populist agrees with us, 2/3. I'm terrible, right? So
Yeah, one of those guys that's throwing up a Sieg Heil. Can't figure out what his ideology is. He's the world's richest man, and he made his what was his name? Kekius Maximus. Fucking every.
And right now, it's not just one member of the Conservative Party that's aligned with him that's doing the Sieg Heil. That's exposed. We have Steve Bannon, who's also doing the Sieg Heil. We have multiple instances of neo-Nazism or fascism, and just more examples of that all throughout the Conservative Party right now.
He's saying the quiet part out loud. Next, Jake is going to tell us, sometimes there's people with absolutely no ideology, like Kanye West. It's like, bro, they have an ideology. They told you what it was. They love Hitler. They love the Nazis, okay? They want to go on tangents about the globalists, right? And those people are a huge problem for the left because we actually care about humanity. Okay? They're not our allies. They're not just guys who are sticking their fingers in the wind. Do you know what Trump's ideology is? Trump. Narcissism. Whatever is good for Donald Trump in the moment. Okay? And what's good for Donald Trump is not good for any of the people who are tuning into this broadcast. So why are you gish galloping and talking out of both sides of your mouth to your own people on a private paywalled broadcast?
Mm-hmm.
What I sense now is finally getting to the point that, and this is I think what some of you are sensing in me, and what is causing some of the ruckus, is I think that the right way to go now is peacemaking rather than war.
Piecemeal, you criticize the Democrats for doing nothing, and that's what you're doing, not fighting back. But I done made a video of this the other day or last week. So they're eventually gonna do peace. You're gonna suck up to the MAGAs. You're not okay. Even if you do suck up, you're not gonna argue with them, push back on certain things. You're just gonna do peace with them, agree not to argue with them, just support more of an understanding with them. I know that. Trump, they're not really attacking Trump. I mean, what they say in Washington, the Democrats do the same thing, or Biden did the same thing, the internment camps or whatever, or Clinton. No, not internment camps, but Guantanamo Bay. Well, he would have done this, but he didn't do it. He would have sent migrants. Now they're saying he would have sent migrants to Guantanamo Bay, like Biden, but he didn't do it. I think that was in case of emergency. If he really got mad, I think they were thinking of doing it, maybe. But it was a real emergency, which is bad anyways. They're thinking of doing it as bad, but he didn't actually do it. But they didn't end up doing it. I guess if the immigration really got bad, I mean, total chaos. But it's not total chaos. This is not a real emergency anyways, this immigration. I don't believe it is. But if it got really that bad, maybe they're thinking of doing it. And they commissioned whatever, in case of anything. Or maybe if it was a terrorist attack. If there's a terrorist attack or something there at Guantanamo Bay. Some kind of, from the migrants. If there's a terrorist attack. Could have been that, or Iran. Because there were reports of Iran wanting to attack. And if they true, they say that they're coming from the southern border. Some terrorists. Oh, I thought it was a Fox News thing, but maybe they thought it could be attacked from there. And maybe they had the Guantanamo Bay. I mean, that's what they're talking about, maybe. But they never actually. I mean, didn't really. And there's circumstances that they were going to do it if it really, really got bad. Maybe it was or maybe a terrorist attack. They're going to do that. Guantanamo Bay. But they're not. But what Trump is doing now is it's uncalled for to open up into Guantanamo Bay. And I'm going on a rant, but yeah, this is crazy. So you're gonna sympathize with the MAGAs, and you're gonna not push back, and it's gonna give in to the right wing. Not gonna do nothing. Not gonna fight. You're a hypocrite. And you say the Democrats are weak. You're damn weak. Get this F out of here. You're weak, Cenk Uygur. You're weak. You're fraud. You're a scaredy cat. You went off to Europe to do conferences or whatever. You're a scaredy cat.
And so, now let me tell you why.
And imagine that being your takeaway. Not only from the Democrats' humiliating defeat to Donald Trump, but everything that we've seen from this fascist administration since it's taken power, Zach. It's been swift. It's been brazen. There's been no regard for norms, laws, the Constitution, etc. And Cenk's notion, his big idea now, is that, it's time to lay down the weapons. Now it's time to be a peacemaker, not a warrior. Now, after suffering this great defeat, he's decided to adopt the ideology that to win, you actually don't have to fight.
Get out of here, stupid ass.
Taxes was waiting and wondering.
No, in order to win, you must fight. You must fight to win.
Yeah.
That's like the number one rule of war, but also politics, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy to say that, by surrendering, by laying down our weapons, and let's try the peacemaker approach. That somehow that's going to get us to where we need to be in defeating this fascist administration.
This is why you cannot
If you guys are enjoying Cenk Uygur getting exposed, make sure to like and subscribe.
trust Cenk. This is why you cannot take Cenk at face value. I used to, for a long time, sit in this chair and be like, well, Cenk is a mixed bag. He's 50-50. To get him on Piers Morgan, and he's talking about Palestine, he's really good. No, you cannot trust Cenk further than you could throw him, and I can't pick his heavy ass up, okay? I don't trust him at all. The reality is that this is an entirely incoherent political message that has only accomplished one thing, and that is to denigrate the left. That is to fracture the left. That is to impede the left from progress. First, he did that by dismissing and diminishing the horrors and the threat of Donald Trump and his rise and his fascist impulses. He did that over and over and over and over again. And he went on a right-wing media tour where he talked shit on the people who were doing the most to stand up to Donald Trump, like Sam Cedar and everybody else on the left. I can't talk to Mike Figueredo. I can't talk to the Humanist Report and Rational National and Kyle Kalinske. They're all scum, right? But who can I talk to? Patrick Bet-David. Who can I talk to? Ben Shapiro. Who can I talk to? Glenn Beck. All these horrible monsters. He's willing to break bread with them. And then on a dime, guys, on an absolute fucking dime, last night, Anna Kasparian is going to pretend that she knew that Donald Trump was going to do all of this evil shit all along, and it's actually the Democrats who aren't doing the right kind of resistance now. Now, Cenk has decided to abandon his he's not a Nazi, and let's give us everybody the Hakeem Jeffries response, which is, what are we supposed to do? Do we just have to twiddle our thumbs and let fascism overrun us, right? All he's doing is being like, okay, it didn't work when I just tried to jerk off the Republicans. Now I'm going to go for the second dumbest group of people who just want to hear me stroke off the Democrats. And I'm just going to rebuild from scratch and pretend I never, gratified and laundered the reputation of all these dopey, insincere Republicans, right? Like he did. And now I'm just going to go back to being like a lazy pantsuit nation resistance liberal.
Yeah, well, We'll see, because it's kind of bizarre and incoherent. He makes this statement, right, basically admitting defeat, saying that, oh, I've spent all these years as a warrior, but no longer. Now it's time to be a peacemaker, which really just means, going to dinner with RFK and hanging out with Dr. Phil. That's what it actually means.
And Cenk Uygur has to make sure that Cenk is being liked by everybody. Cenk Uygur doesn't care about the values, progressive values. He cares about how well is he being liked. He sees that these values are under fire, and he's completely changing up.
This guy's being a peacemaker. Getting an invite to some cocktail party with Ben Shapiro so he can make peace, right? Pathetic, right? But so he just said that. A pretty weird preface to the announcement that's coming. Let's keep listening.
The guy who started the war in a lot of ways initially, right? Yes, but okay, we've been talking about Operation Hope, especially for the diehards here that have been here for over a year. We're like, okay, yes, but what do we do next? What do we do? How do we put this into action, right? Well, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do Justice Democrats again because it was so hard and we pulled off miracles and then it got misdirected, right? But we're going to do something along those lines, okay? And we're going to gather up folks and we're going to lead a charge. And so, and here's how that's going to work. We're going to plant our flag and we're going to say, this is what we stand for. And if you like it, come over here. And
So it's not over yet. We still have several minutes left of this audio. But that's I guess the announcement. He's restarting a new Justice Democrats. He's taking another stab at the Justice Democrats concept. Let's get some populists in Congress, not progressives this time. Let's get some populists in Congress. That'll really change.
So there we have it, you guys. It's no longer going to be the home of the progressives. The Vanguard is calling out Cenk Uygur, saying, you're going back into this Justice Democrats grift. It's just it's terrible to see what's happened to the Young Turks. What's happened?
Yep, it is terrible. Thank you, Progressive Way, the Progressive Way, and the Vanguard. I thank them too. But he's starting. I don't know. He's starting some kind of not third party. Because he's not. He wants popular candidates to run it as. He's still a Democrat. So he's still running with it. So why not start a third party, Cenk? That's a better idea. So he's going to be not Justice Democrats. It's going to be like a populist, a progressive Democrats, I guess, or populist Democrats, more populist. Not leftist. They won't be leftists anymore. They won't be they won't be progressive. They'll be like populists. So are they going to run into MAGA too? Be interested if he's going to. Nah, they can't run into MAGA. Okay, they'll get clapped down. So they'll probably be the Democrats, I would say. And they'll be like populists, but they won't be progressive. I don't think. So he's gonna find people who are like populists, but not progressive. They're more like centrists. He wants, to me, it's garbage. Maybe they might work. They might, but they won't. They only have people run with progressive values. It will help help the people of America. You will also have centrist Democrats. You might end up having what he's doing, so-called populists, like one or two piecemeal things. A couple of things they could agree on. That's it. Oh, they're gonna do one thing and they're gonna run on. That's garbage. So it's going to be Medicare for all? Ha! So they're going to run on and say drug prices, maybe. Or family leave. That's what he talks about more. He doesn't talk about Medicare for all. So he's full of crap. He's a grift. It doesn't make any sense. So going more to the right. That's what he's end up doing. And doing certain like little incremental things. That's what you're advocating. And it's garbage. And this he's just a grifter. Anyways, folks, I'm out. What do you think about this video, folks? Comment if you want.